So I will skip a lot of the features that were in my previous video, like the hooks and MCPs, because they're still there and they're still working as they are. But I invite you to watch the other video if you want to know more about those. But for now, I'll just talk a bit about the redesign. So everything is now modular. There's 3 docks. So there's the left dock, the right dock, and the bottom dock. You can close these or even split the right one. And once you have a module, you can move it somewhere that you want. So I could move the knowledge here. If I want to open it here, I could move the work tree here or move it like I want. So like that, if I want to track something easier, then I can track it easily while I'm either having my Clode terminal open or anything else. I can also close it all, and if I want to be in full coding mode because I'm trying to debug something, then I can always have the editor full screen. And yeah, so for the modular approach, everything is living in this activity bar that you can also close and reopen, but everything has been more made so everybody can find out how they want to set it up and have their own views. So let's go with the next few features that were introduced. The first one is at the top, we see now work trees. So if I'm working on this current work tree here, I can see it's my dashboard app here. If I was going to my work tree and start the process of Clode, then this one would be directly working inside the work tree. So automatically it would be making some change inside my work tree. So I could have multiple work tree working on either the same feature or different features. And once they're done, I can always go see what's the difference between my work tree and integrate them. So if I use the viewer, now there's no change. But if I was to come here and do some change on my work tree, so let me just change something here, then automatically it would be detected. So let's say add is phone verified here, and then here it could be a string, and then well, one feature we just saw is the LSP, right? So when I save here and I come back to my main, if I want to compare my work trees again, I would see that one file was modified, and I can see that which one was added and apply them to my work tree. So let's say I was adding this, then automatically it was applied to my main work tree. And if I go see in my source control, I can see now that it was changed. I can commit it, stage them, stash them if I want. So I can directly enroll my my Git interface from here directly. So now let's talk about snapshot. So when you create the project, automatically you can create a snapshot, but if not, as soon as you type something to Clode, it's gonna start doing a snapshot. So this option is here. It allows you to have your snapshot done automatically. So let's, sorry, I was here. So auto snapshot when sending prop to Clode. So I do auto snapshot. And if I was to type something, so can you create a file called hello.txt with hello inside, then automatically you see my first snapshot was done. So whatever would happen with Clode after, I could go back to that state and not worry about the change that was done. So this auto snapshot everything, and it saves it in a way that it's compressed. So the first one that has like the reference file, and that is the bigger one, but in general it's a very smaller snapshot, but it also saved the states. So what I mean by the state is that if I had some files that were open, then automatically these files would reopen when they're needed. So let me give you an example here. So I would open, let's say, this file index.ts again, and I would take a snapshot, create snapshot, test2. I can always use the button here for quick snapshot too. I can see here that one file was added, which is our hello.txt file. And I can see that one file is open. So let me see here. If I do selective, it would show me which file. And then I can see what's the content of that file. I could also see cherry pick and see if there was some change, then I could diff the change there. And I can use cherry pick if I want to do a more Git based approach to integrating the file versus selective restore would restore it. And then if I use restore, then it would restore to the state that it is. So if I can give an example here again, I will take our hello.txt file that we just created. Then I will add 23 here, and I would go do a quick snapshot. So now that the snapshot is done, you can see that one file was modified, which is our hello.txt, and 3 files were open in our Explorer, right? So let me go back to the previous state. So if I go back here, then automatically only 1 file will be open, which was the file I was open at that snapshot, and then my hello23 would be gone. And then inversely, if I don't like what I just did and I want to go back to the previous state before I restored, I can click restore again. And then if I go back to what I was explaining, so if I go back to my Explorer and editor, I would see now my 3 files still open and my hello23 would be back where it was. So yeah, so snapshot allows you to have those snapshot of the state before you send some stuff to Clode, and those are separated also by worktrees. So if I was in my worktree, I could create snapshots that are proper to that worktree, and if there's some stuff that I don't like about that snapshot, then I can always roll back to those. So this represents well what happened for the work trees. So I can have as many work trees as I want and I can compare them for changes. Snapshot and also the source controls. So I can see and commit and push changes directly in my source control here. So one of the other main features that were added were LSP and AI autocomplete. So how it works basically is that we have LSP that you can add directly here. So you can add your LSP to the language server allows you to have some autocomplete settings that are appearing, but we can also have some that are based on Clode. So you don't need to have any other different installation than what you already have. You can just call Clode to fix some stuff inside your code. So let's try it here. First, for the normal autocomplete, obviously this is just the LSP server answering here, but I could also have Clode finish stuff that I want. So here I have my interface I want to do for my buyer. I could just hit Command G here, and automatically I can see that it's thinking about what it could give me, right? So it's gonna go inline, and then as soon as it goes inline, I can either click on it or use tab to accept it. You can also have it enabled automatically. So if you do that, then you can have a delay on when you want Clode to do it for you. So let's say I would put the 3-second delay, and I want to do another interface. So it could be export interface admin here, and I would stop typing. I don't need to hit Command G or anything, and automatically it would try to create something that makes sense in this context, right? So it analyzes the context at the start of our project and keeps it in memory, and then gives us a new part of what he sees in the file and what he knows about like the technology that we're using and everything to fill those up. So this is how it would work, but I can always disable it and just use it on Command G. If I want to know what are the different commands here, you can always go in the little tooltip at the far right to see like the different one. Like we see the generate ghost text, which is Command G, but you can also use the generate code, which is the next feature I was going to talk about. So if I want to maybe generate more code or generate change in this page, I could use Command P. So let's say I do P. What I can do is describe what I want to do. So inside this page, could you improve every function interface I have? So this one might be longer, and I can also give him resources. So if I decide to give him resources to look at, then it could go in those files and understand more of the context even. So I can give it knowledge, I can give it even some MCP to use or anything. So I can add those to those pages. So I know you can use the Clode terminal to do something similar, but this one is when you're coding and maybe your Clode terminal is working on something else, or you just want to improve something quickly and you know exactly what you want to generate, you could use this to generate it. So if I click generate, then I will have this that starts generating, and once it's done, it's going to give me a diff to see what was changed. So let's look at what he gives us there. So we got the result here. So we can see in the viewer what has changed. So here we see the changes that are going to be done if I accept those changes, and if I accept them, then automatically they're going to be applied to my file under. So let's say I was to save this, then this would be what I changed since. So let's say to just finish a bit to show, this was some generation from Clode. If I was to do some quick snapshot here, go back here, then I could see what was modified on my work tree and decide if I want to restore to a previous to what it was before or keep it. So I can see all this change, and I can see it also between the work trees. So if I was to see in my work tree here and analyze what was changed inside the type, so I can see if I want to integrate them inside my main or not. And then finally, there's also the terminal that has changed a bit. These terminals are also proper to each work tree, but on top of that, you can create multiple terminals and use them as you want. So you could use run your front end and back end. And what you could do also is use different ports to run maybe two front end and see what's the difference that's happening in your different work trees. So yeah, it's really a tool that allows you to use Clode code directly, and there's no extra tool or extra API key needed. This all use your local installation of Clode.